So once again the main straight is being swept and the grid prepared. It's blazing sunshine here in France. We've had 3 rounds of qualifying in there, and we've had 3 different drivers topping each round of qualifying. In the first round it was Jorn Neumann who went fastest. In round 2 it was in fact Neil Cragg who went quickest, and then going to the third round that left 3 drivers in with the shot of taking pole position, those 2 and Lee Martin. And it was actually Lee who put the fastest time in the meeting in that final round of qualifying to nab the pole position. Let's go and talk to Lee now. Fantastic rounds of qualifying, really close between all the top guys at the moment. What do you think it was that gave you that edge?
I don't know, I just tried to stay clean and I found something that was broke on my car, I changed that. Yeah, it seems to be going well, the car was really good.
And obviously you're running the shaft drive car this time rather than the belt drive car you used last time. You found a lot of difference between the cars?
To be honest, the shaft drives felt really safe, really consistent. I've been able to do lap after lap after lap with it, whereas the 511 may be faster over a single lap, but I felt like I'd be able to do a better run with the 502. And
obviously that's proved to be the case. Now looking forward to the finals, starting on pole position, big advantage. In fact, you can hopefully get through the first few corners cleanly. What's your mindset going into the finals like?
I'm just going to try and do the same as I did in two-wheel drive, just get them first few laps out of the way and see how good I can go till the end.
Now you're going to have Jorn and then Hupo behind you on the grid. Where do you think the challenge is really going to come from? Is it going to be those 2, or is it going to be someone like Neil who's a bit further back in the grid?
Well, I think initially it's definitely going to be them 2. They're going to be right behind me and they're going to both want to be hungry to win. So if Neil can get through a bit of traffic, I don't know where he's going to qualify, but if he can get through, then obviously he's going to be a threat as well.
Yep. Here with Durango teammates Jorn Neumann, Hupo, Honig. Jorn starting second on the grid, tied on points with Lee, but Lee had that faster time. It was a roll on the final lap of your third qualifier. I think that's going to cost you a bit of time there.
Yeah, I made a mistake on the last lap that cost me nearly 4 seconds, so I think that was the TQ.
But obviously still really close on times with Hupo and with Lee and some other drivers as well. Do you think you can challenge Lee in the finals now?
Yeah, I think I can challenge him, but it would be very close.
And what's your mindset like going into the finals, knowing you're starting second on the grid but perhaps have got a faster car than Lee?
Yeah, I want to win and I give my best.
Thanks for talking to us and good luck in the finals. Now Hupo, third on the grid, very disappointed with some of your qualifying runs there.
Yeah, I had some bad luck with some back markers which cost my rhythm and I crashed in the end, but the car is good, so 2 and 3 on the grid is pretty good for Durango.
Now you mentioned your rhythm there. Is that what's really key to this track in four-wheel drive, having the rhythm around the whole lap?
Yes, for sure. I mean, now it's very slippery, so you need to be very careful and find a good rhythm.
And for you, looking forward to the finals, now starting third on the grid, are you hoping to be able to challenge the 2 in front of you, or are you worried about anyone who's behind you on the grid, maybe Neil or someone starting a bit further in the pack?
For me it's pretty difficult because Jorn is starting in front of me, so I need to be really careful, but I just wait and see what happens.
Just make sure you don't take out your teammates.
For sure not.
So behind those 3 it's going to be Victor Wilk who will start 4th on the grid. He had 2 great runs in rounds 1 and 2 of qualifying to go 4th in both of them. 5th on the grid will be Neil Cragg. So Neil got a TQ run in round 2, but in the final round of qualifying when he was in with a shot of pole position, he was late to the grid at the start and then had to work his way through traffic and eventually got caught up in back markers, leaving him well down the order. 6th on the grid is going to be former European champion in both off-road and on-road, it's Mark Reinhardt. 7th on the grid, Paul Bradbury. 8th on the grid, Peter Pinish. 9th on the grid will be Martin Creel. And 10th on the grid, completing the A final from the UK, is Grant Williams. So stay tuned for all the action from the finals here in France later this evening on EFRA.ws.